Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today we have a couple, athletes from Skyline High School. We have Morgan Layman. She is a sophomore at Skyline, and she is a wrestler. Can you believe that? A wrestler. Coach Alan Kroh, he's here. He's the head woman coach and the assistant coach at Skyline High School, and Morgan's been doing some crazy things here in the last season. Tell us a little bit about it before Morgan tells us, because I know she's going to be really quiet and just timid.
So she's completed a bunch of goals that she had set for herself. Really, we had set these goals last year and kind of fell short. She found herself in like a different weight class this year and just kind of finding success right out of the gate this season. I think a lot of it really has to do with like the mental aspect of our sport, right? Because she's had the ability, honestly, like tweaking small technical things, but a lot of it's been mental in my opinion.
It is, yeah. Most sports are mental.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
So, Morgan, how in the world did you decide you wanted to be a wrestler?
Well, it all started because of my older sister. She's also a wrestler. She's in college now.
Right.
And she basically just told me to try it out, and I just
and you
liked it. Yeah.
Well, you don't think of many women wrestlers. I mean, not in schools, but I bet you the scholarships would be wide open for women wrestlers because, the pool is smaller to pick from. So that's what you want. That's great. So you think you're going to do this in college? You're going to try to get a scholarship?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, tell us about some of these tournaments you've been in here recently, because I heard you won one.
Yeah, I did win the girls' state championship the other weekend. But I've been doing a lot of tough tournaments this past, month or two. They're big.
And tough, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stretch from February to the end has been, she wrestled in the Region 3B tournament, and she was a runner-up for the very first woman in Virginia history to be a 3B in our region to make the finals. So that was really awesome. And then she went to the state tournament the week after, winning a match, first girl to ever win one at 3A. And then the following weekend, she wins the very first ever 118-pound girls state championship. And then the next day after that, on Sunday, she went and placed in the boys division at the Virginia. It's folk style state tournament, so it's all 6 classifications kind of come wrestle there. And she, for the first time, she's never been able to do that in the last 9 years.
Yeah,
so this was the first time that she's been able to place at that tournament in the boys division.
All right.
Yeah.
You're in the record books.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good,
100%.
20 years from now, she look back, tell her kids, well, Mom was a wrestler. Look here, I was state champion on... No, they don't believe it.
It's awesome. We have a lot of young ladies in the area that are kind of gravitating towards this sport, and she's an amazing role model. She has a little sister that wrestles, and I also coach. My daughter wrestles, and I also coach her. And then we have 1 or 2 more young ladies that really enjoy the sport. So,
well, if you really enjoy it, that's part of sports, and it's really like we talked about. It's an individual mental game. I mean,
100%.
Obviously, probably the strength of all the competitors are probably pretty equal by the time you get and do the training. But it's that mental state. So, what do you do to prepare mentally? Or you just look at that guy and you say, I'm going to whoop him.
Well, I don't really look at my opponents because it gets me in my head. Because I'll be like, oh, they look terrifying. So I don't really look at them. I really just mess around with him and we listen to music and
just go out there and do it. And you don't really even know who the people look like. Sometimes you have to do that.
That was a huge thing last year. Is I feel like we would look at we'd go to a tournament, we'd look at the bracket, and then me and her would look on the phones and look up the record of the kid she's wrestling. And like she said, I feel like that got in her head a lot. So now we
don't do that anymore, do you?
No, we both put in.
And say next.
Yeah,
right?
We both put in a headphone. We kind of play around. I joke with her. We'll play wrestle and stuff, and then basically people are just yelling at us, "Hey, you're up next," and it's like, let's go.
The trick is you have to get in their head.
100%.
So you need to be out there doing 400 push-ups. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever you're doing.
Let's be honest, man. Between me and her, she always has a target on her back. Either the boys are like, I'm not going to lose to that girl, or a younger woman that she has to wrestle is like, I want to take her spot.
Right.
So every tournament we go to that she's wrestling in, she has some sort of target on her back.
Yeah.
So.
I always say, even if you're in the front of the pack, you're going to get the arrows.
Always.
So it's better to be in the front than the back because that you can't see them coming. You know what I mean? So at least when you're out front, you can see it. And once you get out front, you can maintain that. And I tell people it's easy to maintain the lead once you get it. Yeah. But do it in all the sport. Look at racing and all that. Once they get out front, they don't let it go because you're really motivated. But you're true. These things are in our heads. It's just like public speaking or doing book reports or whatever it is. Just get out there and fake it. It's kind of like this. We don't look at the camera, right? See, look at that camera right over there.
Yeah.
You just get out there and do it. It just sounds like. So what do you think you're going to do next year? You're going to stay in this, is it the 118 class? What's that weight?
So girls and boys
You look
weights.
like you weigh about 80 pounds. That's why I was wondering.
No. I actually lost a lot of weight this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so she went down a class.
Explain the weights a little bit.
Yeah, explain how that works.
Okay, well, you have to be like a certain weight class for wrestling. So I had to be like a certain weight to be on varsity, and I wrestled 120 last year.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this year I was going in the season weighing like 126, 127, and last year I wrestled 127 girls. So then this year I dropped to 113 for boys, and I wrestled 118 for girls. Which I was going to go 112, but we were like,
Even that extra pound, man, like you might not think about it like as a big thing, but whenever she's already like cut a lot of water out and she's already on a pretty strict diet, and it's that 1 pound, man, could be everything. You know?
So. But that's your muscle. You don't want to get rid of that. It's just thinking of.
And we were happy with the opponent. We knew what opponent she would get at the girls 118, so we were like I'll let you. Relax a little bit whenever we wrestle those tournaments, but whenever it's back to the boys, like we got to be right on our grind. The diet has got to be there, and we have to maintain that.
You just think you get out there and run around,
I think that's what a lot of people think, right? But that's definitely not that at all.
Well, we've gone to a couple of wrestling tournaments and over the years, and there's a lot. I mean, it's intense.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's intense, and it's like you said, it's just kind of like baseball. You do it every day. Sometimes
every day,
tournaments or matches. It's not like football once a week. No, these things sometimes 2 or 3 times a week.
There's days that me and her will practice like 3 times a day. Like I'll pick her up for a morning workout, and then we'll do our regular high school practice. And if she's overweight a little bit, we'll go to a separate gym and run and drill and then get in a sauna. So this
guy's tough.
There's days that it's 3 times a day, or even whenever we leave high school practice. Last year a couple of times we'd run around the dog park right from the high school. So I think that's something that we're going to start doing again this year.
Yeah. She's thinking. So what kind of things are you taking in school? I mean, how are your schoolwork going? I mean, you got to keep that up.
Well, I don't take like any extra classes.
Oh, you just take what you have to have. Huh?
Yeah. I just do my schoolwork and go to wrestling practice, and that's really my life.
Yeah.
Just do that every single day.
Tell me about your boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend.
Hey, she doesn't have a boyfriend. Maybe why?
Stay away.
She's a tough. That'll get in your head. But she's tough. These boys look at her and say, "No, I'm not."
I don't call them the boyfriends. I said, "How's your distraction doing this week?"
That's true. There's always, trust me, there's time for that stuff. Right now, this is a good focus. This will help your career, or help your mental state.
100%.
Mental is everything, and it's great to figure that out at a young age. And can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 15.
15. Oh my gosh. Yep. Oh, she is tough. I've met some of these young ladies over at the Warren County High School at the DECA programs, and we're interviewing and we're talking to her. She said, "Yeah, I'm going to be the president of this. I'm going to be the lawyer." They know it. Freshmen and sophomore. I mean, some of these girls are focused.
Laser focused,
and you can really see it in their schoolwork and everything. They're just.
That was a big thing that I've been like harping on her all year, because this has been the second season that I've coached her. Last year I was like, you need to set goals, you need to write them down and look at them every single day.
Right.
And I don't think it like got through to her until this season. Like I know that she didn't even tell me what her goals were.
Right.
I know that she had set 3 or 4 lofty goals for herself though. And at the end of the year, she told me like, yeah, I didn't really meet the goal that I wanted to do here, but I met this one. And then, for freshman year, she had like 11 wins, and then this year she's had 27.
Wow, that's a big difference.
That's a really, she's definitely bridged the gap in my opinion.
Well, let me tell you something about goals. If you don't write them down, they're just dreams. Yeah. And you really need to share them with someone that can hold you accountable. So when you're meeting, you're all working towards the goal. So, and they always just progress. You don't have to go way out here. Goals should be kept where you can measure them
100%.
and be able to do that. And that's how goal setting works. If you can't measure it and you can't write it down, then it's just a dream.
I always left mine I always taped like a little postcard right on my bathroom mirror. So every morning I would look, I'm staring at it. I know what I have to do today.
You need these positive affirmations, little notes that you can put up and hang around. Every time you open your school book, there it is in your cover. Little things like that. You think people say, oh, that doesn't work, but it does work.
100%. Well, that was like something I've been trying to get her to do too. Like this season is whenever I wrestled myself, like I would talk through the entire match, my warm-up.
Right.
She doesn't do exactly that, right? But like little things like keeping your head and chest up on a shot. Like I'll make her say that 1,000 times during practice.
Sure.
Head up, chest up, head up, chest up. And she'll do it every time. She'll keep her head.
Well, I took dancing lessons. They yell at me, frame.
Yeah, so the whole in your head the whole time you're thinking frame. So hopefully
same thing.
It kind of transitions like to where she's thinking, man, I'm going to take my shot now, and I have to keep my head and my chest up.
Let me tell you, I can remember talking to people that were prisoners of war, and there's just a couple stories out about different ones where they mentally played golf in their head while they were in prison.
Yeah.
And when they got out and was rescued and came into playing golf, they shot that game of golf exactly the way they played it in their head, because they practiced that for 5 years in their head, all mentally, so they saw themselves, getting those holes in one and doing all those kind of things. And the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and not. So if you tell it it's real, it'll do it.
It'll happen, yeah.
It'll happen. So that's why it's so important to do those things. If we can just convince young people to do more of this, other than, but she's learning at a young age, and you will benefit from this. So I'm trying to be positive, saying this, but I hope that's.
Yeah.
I'm not telling her anything.
No, not at all.
Here you say, ignore everything he told you because he's telling you wrong. No, it's just so great. And if you have any more of these young ladies over there, or you're not doing the men, though, are you?
No, I'm an assistant coach for the men. Yeah, and
but they're not as good, are they?
No, they're definitely as good. We have a really good team at Skyline. We have a great group of young men that are in there. Right now, our senior class that just graduated is 4 really awesome wrestlers that we're kind of losing, and I've got to see grow up as young men, and she's wrestled with a lot of them her entire career, so it's definitely like an experience too.
Yeah. Well, these kids that go to Skyline, they're down there in South Warren. Are you out on the farm? Are you a farm girl? I mean, you don't have cows and pigs and chickens you got to raise.
She wishes. She wishes
but
she
some
did.
of those boys do.
She wishes she did.
But some of those kids down there, they have that. And you talk about preschool. They're already up at 4 o'clock in the morning, doing some of those chores. Not as often as used to be probably when I was growing up.
It works out a lot. I'm actually like really good friends with their family, so I'll go over and we'll play cornhole, or me and Morgan will go fishing with my kids, and
that's good.
Try to stay outdoors as much as possible and not. Yes. But honestly, the coaching staff at Skyline's really cool because the head coach Kyle Simons, he kind of allows the athletes to come to the coaches they feel more comfortable with.
Right.
And me and Morgan are very similar. Like
You're a wrestler.
Well, I'm like a quiet guy. I keep to myself. I don't deal with a lot of stuff. And I notice her, she kind of just sits in the corner and doesn't really talk to a lot of people. So I kind of gravitated towards her, and the same for her. So.
Well, congratulations on your state win. You should be proud of that. And it's just the beginning of many, many things I see you doing.
Yes, it is.
And other things other than wrestling. I think she'll succeed in a lot of areas. And just, everything, you can't wrestle for the rest of your life. You could be like, well, isn't there this wrestler, Michelle McCool? That's my name, McCool. She's not related to me. And she was she wasn't a real wrestler. I mean,
Yeah.
But let me tell you what, you watch that, my kids love watching that real wrestling on television, But, you ever met any of these people? They're athletes.
I mean, for sure.
It's hard to fake it. Trust me.
If I can get a 15-year-old kid to wake up at 6:15 in the morning to go do a workout, like what, she will have no issue waking up for a job or being dedicated for a thing. Like this isn't, and I tell her this all the time, like I don't care if you win another match. As long as you're like successful in whatever avenue, you decide to take, that's why I'm here.
You just do the best you can do, and that's all. All you can do is all you can do. That's something to remember. Get out there and give it your. And you say, like when I always say, when they turn in a paper or do an exercise or do something, all I have to do is look at it and say, "Is this the best you can do?" That's what I told my kids. Well, and they always go back and try it again. I never said it was good or bad. I just said, "Is this the best you can do?" And most people know if it was really the best you can do. You know that. If it is, fine, move on. If it isn't, you get out there and
Gotta
run a few
go
more
again.
laps.
Yep.
Well, again, congratulations, Morgan. I think it's a great thing to do. She should be a great inspiration for all the rest of your wrestlers over there.
To me also. She's a great inspiration to me too.
Yeah, your parents should be proud of you.
They are.
Great. It was nice meeting you. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you so much.
And when she wins All-State, National, you come back and we'll talk again.
100%. Yeah. Hopefully we can get you guys out to like a wrestling match at Skyline or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
we'll
fun.
do that. We'll come back. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Morgan.